595, Pope Gregory I sent Augustine and 40 monks as missionaries to bring the church back to the new Anglo-Saxons. They got to Canterbury, Kent, in 597. King Ethelbert of Kent was wary at first, fearing black magic, but eventually Augustine managed to convert Ethelbert, who later became a saint. This was most likely helped by Ethelbert's Frankish wife, who was also a Christian. Augustine was then made the first Archbishop of Canterbury, and Ethelbert was the first Anglo-Saxon king to convert. King Ethelbert made Kent the first Christian Anglo-Saxon kingdom. He also set down the first law code, the oldest text written in English, and the oldest law code found in Germanic. Ethelbert weren't just king of Kent, but the overlord, or Bretwalder, meaning Britain ruler, over many other Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, so a fair few other kings converted too, for political reasons. Later on, the king gave Augustine permission to build Canterbury Cathedral. Another of these kings was the king of East Anglia, King Redwald, who went on to succeed Ethelbert as overlord. Though King Redwald weren't fully Christian, he held on to a lot of old Anglo-Saxon pagan beliefs. He's still important, as he was buried at Sutton Hoo, in one of the biggest archaeological finds in British history. The Church of England is then one of the pillars of the nation, and has been with it from the very start. Augustine of Canterbury is also extremely important, because without him, this history might never have been written down. Many of the monks who recorded it, like Bede, were heavily influenced by Augustine. Augustine didn't manage to convert any other Anglo-Saxon kingdom, and he got a frosty welcome off the Celtic Christian Britons, likely because Rome were now backing the freshly christened Anglo-Saxons, while the Celtic Christians had been scrapping with them same pagan Anglo-Saxons not long before, and lost their land over it. Imagine fighting in the name of Christ and losing, then your enemy converting, likely for political reasons rather than any real faith, and then told by your head of faith that you're the wrong type of Christian. The Celtic and original Christians of Britannia were completely abandoned by Rome. The practice of collecting and preserving body parts or relics of saints was common in early Catholicism. The Anglo-Saxons took to this side of it strongly. These body parts were known as relics and held spiritual meaning. They could be bones, hair, fingers, or other remains. They were often kept in small boxes or amulets. Pilgrims would visit these reliquaries to seek blessings, healing, or a spiritual link to the saint tied to the relics. The most well-known are those of St. Cuthbert. Part of being a Catholic at the time was going on a pilgrimage, something loads of people did, even kings. It were also the closest thing you'd get to a holiday back then. Rome was the most prestigious place to go, though you had to be rich enough to make the trip. The three main pilgrimage sites in the early Anglo-Saxon world were Lindisfarne, known for St. Cuthbert's relics, Glastonbury, tied to St. Joseph of Arimathea and early Christian legends, Canterbury, home to the shrine of St. Augustine and its historical weight. Canterbury is still a popular pilgrimage site for Christians today. Be sure to check out my other channel, History Sticks, for the complete, longer and comprehensive video.